Okay, in this video, we want to talk about our newsletter feature. Basically, in our last email, we went over our sequence engine. And in short, our newsletter engine works the same way as a sequence engine. The only difference is instead of sending a text-based message, we can now send an HTML message. So again, when you go through the process of creating a newsletter, you can hit create a newsletter. It's going to ask you to give it a name, select which email provider or email address you want to use, along with the sender from to and reply to address, add any contacts you want to the campaign, whether or not this newsletter is public or private, and whether or not you want tracking, open tracking and click tracking turned on. Now in this case, I went ahead and I duplicated an existing test campaign by simply selecting the duplicate, and then I can come in here and I can edit this. So I'm going to call this final. Website visitor identification final. Okay, so here we're going to promote a website visitor tracking and ID solution that can identify up to 30 to 50% of your website traffic, your anonymous website visitors. So in this case, I'm going to pick this domain here, info@salesleadautomation. I'm going to give it a name. Do I reply to email? Name. These should always be the same. If you're mailing out of a subdomain, that's a good practice, especially if you plan on sending any volume. But you want to make sure that your reply to email is using the same main domain as your subdomain. So in this case, info.salesleadautomation.com is what we'll mail out of, but the replies will go back to Sean@salesleadautomation.com. I'm going to leave this public, and I'm going to leave the tracking turned on. Once that's done, I hit save changes. I've updated this. I can drop my contacts in here or select contacts from my database, but I'm going to focus on the messaging itself and some of the capabilities we have here. So there's two things that are happening right now. We have added a function that we really liked in other applications, and that's called remail to anyone who didn't open the first email. So I could just do a mass campaign and say, hey, if they haven't opened this up in 5 days, send it to them again. And we always get an uptick in the number of opens and clicks. So the first campaign, maybe you only got a 20% open rate. By doing this, you might actually pick up another 5 to 10%, maybe even more open rate. So your effective campaign rate was a 35% open rate. So it's very handy to do that. Or you can actually use sequences. So in other words, you select the edit button and you'll notice that we have a HTML builder here. So it's very easy, drag and drop. You can actually drop content blocks in here like this. You can add content, drop text in, and you can add whatever content you want inside there, like merge tag, like first name. You can also personalize it however you like, first name, last name, etc. Then add your copy to this campaign. You can also remove a block. If you want to get rid of a block, just get rid of it. Just don't need it. Okay, now you can also access a previously designed template. You can create this and save it as a template, or you can select a template. So I'm going to select this one. I already have it built. I'm dropping it in here. Take a quick little look at it. This looks good. I might want to remove it box. Could remove that. Background colors, change whatever I want. In this case, I wanted to leave that in there to give it a little bit of space. I could set save changes, and I'm done. Now I can also create a B version. So maybe you're going to send HTML emails, but you're not really sure which one will work. So just like sequences, you could also do the same thing. This time, we might want to change the copy. So let's select a template, grab the same one. And now what I could do is just simply come in here and change my copy. So I've got two different versions. So I could queue this up for a couple of days, see which version works best, and then remove one of the version that wasn't performing well. So in this case, I'll save changes. Oop, gotta have a subject line. Okay, let's take a subject line from our text-based campaign. Oops, edit. Select my template, add my subject. There we go. Save changes. Now you can see I got two different subject lines. I can add a third one in here if I like. And just like our sequence engine, I can add another step. So after, let's say, I don't know, 7 days, if there's no response, then let's send another message. What you're doing here is you're basically just, instead of sending text messages, you're sending nice branded HTML emails. And it sends the same exact way as it does a text-based campaign, meaning it'll send however you have your sendings in your settings section under sending, you have the ability to throttle your sends. So send one email every 30 to 90 seconds. And so one email will go out, say 32 seconds. This one might go out 45. This one might go out 63, but it randomly picks a time slot to send that extra email. And the reason why you do this is for improved deliverability. When you send a bunch of email all at once, that often will trigger spam filters and move you to the spam folder if it gets delivered at all. But by sending one email at a time, it also improves deliverability just like a text-based email. And you could take it a step further by removing the tracking inside there and just focus on replies and book meetings. Now, let's say you decide you don't want to do another step, just simply delete it. And now we've got basically a two-step sequence that's going out for this campaign. So now if that's done, I'm going to hit save changes. Then I can see that people, when I see replies, they will show up here. Here's my schedule. I can access a different sending schedule if I like. In this case, this looks good to me. And then I'm ready to go to the report. And now this campaign looks like it's ready to go. So I go back to newsletters, and all I have to do is hit the start newsletter campaign and it will launch. So very similar, lots of advantages to sending HTML. You've got branding capabilities now. It looks more professional. And the way we send them is very effective at getting into the inbox. We've been in email marketing for over 20 years, so we've adopted some really cool email capabilities in this platform that you won't find in any other platform. That's the ability to send email through your main domain or your main email account. We give you the ability to add a subdomain. We give you the ability to send mass mail, and we give you the ability to send sequences one at a time over a particular time period. So very powerful application. And we also give you the ability to turn on and off open track, click tracking. All of these things are designed to help you get to the inbox, because without that, nothing else matters. Let us know if you have any questions. We're more than glad to help you. Thank you.